Welcome back to another episode of TVGP's Critical Misses. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me, as always, is Moonpeer.
Hello.
Here for episode 2 of this current season. We're going to talk about 1985's The Last Dragon. This is not
Yep.
Raya and the Last Dragon. That's a movie
No.
my kid likes. It's a very different movie.
I haven't seen that movie either.
It's fine. It's fine. It's all right. This is I think it's probably safe to say a cult
one.
classic.
Yes.
But also, this is a really easy one for me. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing
Same.
about this one.
Exact the same.
Yeah.
Like, literally don't know a thing.
Yeah.
I
It is worth mentioning, though, here that, again, if you didn't listen to the previous episode, this season is a celebration of our departed friend Harlow, and this was widely considered his favorite movie, I think, of all time. So this was kind of an easy inclusion here in the season of just like, well, you gotta have The Last Dragon, man. Like, what are you... That's not even an option here. So that's an easy one here, but this is a true critical misses gem of just like, yeah, I don't know anything about it.
do know nothing.
Yeah, in kind of an exciting way. I don't know if I necessarily want to try and mine too much here, since this movie is an unknown. Do you have any comments here before we get in?
I mean, I really don't know anything about it, really. I know. So, the BMF cast covered it for episode 420, which is, I'm sure that's a joke. It's somewhere in there somewhere.
Right.
The problem is that episode was years ago at this point.
Sure.
I think. 2018, I believe.
There you
at
go.
This point.
Just a hot 6 years, no big deal.
Yeah. So I listened to it, but I sure don't remember anything from it.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm assuming there's a Bruce Lee reference in here somewhere.
I feel like they're probably, yeah.
Like,
Also here, a quick plug. If you haven't listened to the BMF cast, go to bmfcast.com. All the episodes are over there. They wrapped up the show at episode 600. Came out here at time of recording not too long ago. So you should be able to check out all that stuff there. Let's just go watch the movie.
yeah, sure.
All right, we're back. We have returned from the
worst movie theater on the planet. Never mind, we'll get there.
I mean, I have no plan for talking about this movie because I'm not sure if I could ever do the scattershot 200-mile-an-hour plot of this movie ever.
Yeah.
This movie, if you come out of this movie and you said like, "Oh man, I was really bored watching The Last Dragon," you're a liar.
Yeah. You have seen the wrong movie.
Yeah, you have seen some other movie that is boring. Because I'm sure there are a million different opinions about The Last Dragon. This is probably going to be...
I looked at the IMDb ratings.
You fool! I can't even imagine what sort of cesspool that is. But, like, the idea that you could come out of this movie and being like, yeah, that was like a quiet treatise on the human condition. No. People are getting punched, man. It's a punching movie
of movies.
Yeah, like this is a punching fools movie.
So, I will say something that I meant to bring up in the first part of this episode and then completely forgot to, but I did bring her up in the production meeting. So if you're not a patron member. That's patron.com/E1M1.
Those ones are numbers. Yes.
Thank you. This is a bad movie. And I say that with love.
Parenthetically affectionate.
Yes. The same way I would say that Starship Troopers is a bad movie.
Right.
Affectionately.
Right.
RoboCop is a bad movie. Affectionately.
Right.
Total Recall is a bad movie. Affectionately.
Right. We'll again plug the BMF cast at bmfcast.com, where I spent 600 episodes going through all of these quote-unquote bad movies.
Yes. 420 is this one, if you are interested in...
Of course it is.
The timing was perfect.
Incredible.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It had to be that number.
Yeah,
Why
what
not?
other movie could it have been? Yeah.
One of the things I wondered about in the production meeting that I forgot to mention for the first part of this episode, I've been on vacation and Louise is currently bothering me every moment that she can. So if I'm distracted by a cat, you know why. We recorded Wayward Sons, and I'm not kidding. She was asleep on my chest right here the entire time that we recorded that show.
Yep.
Anyway, one of the things I talked about on the production meeting and forgot to mention in the first was that I don't know how this is going to vibe based on the way we watched movies, because I will get into yourself in a minute, but frequently I am watching this alone or in an audience of two, one of who is frequently distracted by phones.
Right.
So
two maximum.
Yes, this is not a type of thing I can do where I'm sitting in the Banffcast Theatre. I'm not sitting there with a bunch of dudes with the same attitude having a joke about it.
Right.
That being said, when is this episode going out, Boston?
Early next month, I think.
By the time you hear this, possibly as you are hearing this, I am going to be watching this movie in that audience.
Yes.
So that's going to be an interesting thing. I will report back and let you know how that goes.
The polar opposite of the
my
viewing,
usual,
our usual Critical Misses viewing experience. That'll be interesting.
Exactly, and like you yourself, you've said many times, you tend to watch this type of stuff on your phone, and you tend to, depending on the length of the movie, you have to piecemeal it because you have a child and everything else that's going on in your life.
I did watch this movie and the next movie both on a big screen with a good sound system. Less important for this movie, but fun.
Much more important.
For the next one.
The next movie, yes.
But yeah, it sort of broke away from my kind of usual viewing experiences here for this one. I feel like with this season being celebration as it is, and this being Harlow's favorite movie, or at the very least favorite bad movie, I feel like you wanted to watch it in kind of the best fidelity and sound possible.
Yes. I am surprised about how much of this movie hit with me. I am surprised about how this is going to sound weird when I phrase it.
Okay.
When I say this next sentence out loud, it is going to sound weird, and I apologize. I'm surprised about how not racist but racist the movie is.
Yeah. Yep.
It's very unusual.
Yeah.
Because you've got the black lead playing a stereotype of the Asian lead. You've got the three Asian guys pretending to be black guys. And they flip-flop constantly to the different stereotypes of black and Asian, and the main white dude in this is a terrifying, horrible villain. That's not racist. That's just true.
Yeah. It's really interesting because I think even if you don't like The Last Dragon, if you can look at The Last Dragon kind of academically, it's a really interesting movie where it takes that the student breaking out into the world from this kind of sheltered life that they've been living. We've seen this in a million Asian action movies of just like I've taught
Yes.
you everything I can. Now you must go out into the world and find your own way. But
He feels deliberately naive, like,
right, yeah,
but not in a negative way, just very unworldly in
right,
comparison with his very young brother, who is the exact opposite.
right. The very like worldly like young kid there. But it's interesting to see that that film kind of presented through a black filmmaking lens and see it not be the stereotypical Asian main character that we usually have, but also still paying homage to Bruce Lee because, of course, this guy is the biggest fan of Bruce Lee because why wouldn't he be?
Yes. Yeah.
And who can blame him? I'm not here to say like, well, Bruce Lee made bad movies. Like, I'm not. That's not me.
I haven't seen enough Bruce Lee movies. I've seen like part of one.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I haven't seen
There's
enough
a
to be like,
season there.
here's my top 10 Bruce Lee movies, but like, you know, I'm
Uh-huh.
putting some respect on the films there. So it was kind of nice to see that that kind of trope for
Yes.
the lack of a better term, sort of being flipped around a little bit in a way that I thought
And
was
it's all,
refreshing.
I feel like it's always played for comedic effect, but it's not played for haha, look at the stupid black slash Asian black
It's never
slash
cruel.
white person. No,
Right.
it's always look at these stereotypes and we're aware of it. That's why we're flipping them on their heads.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite moments in this movie is this is how we play craps in Harlem,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's just hopscotch. Like, it is one of my favorite.
Yeah.
The visual gags in this movie, like, I feel like they start and don't stop.
Yeah.
Like, just a quick rundown. Like, the piranha, I'm assuming, because you're never told what's in the tank.
Whatever it is really good.
The
The only
when he
thing that
puts-
scares the bad guy is whatever's in that tank.
Yes. But, like, the very start of the movie, the guy puts the chicken leg in there,
Mm-hmm.
and cuts away and cuts back, and when it cuts back, he's pulling the bones out like you'd expect.
Yeah.
Except it's gone from, like, a pig leg to a full human leg with a hip bone attached to it.
Yeah.
And, like, when he pulls it out, it's a full-on human leg, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
that's an interesting
It's
visual
pretty good.
gag. Like,
Yeah.
I love that. And in the worst theater that exists on the planet, when the guy's, like, walking down the aisle yelling...
Show enough?
No, not him. We'll
Okay.
get to him. The joints and 5 bags in the theater, like a popcorn vendor,
Uh-huh.
and he's just got a plastic baggie full of weed,
It's pretty
and
good.
it's just like, okay, I
Mhm.
see where we're going with this. This is genuinely, like, the visual gags. Just see they're so subtle. They never really point
Right.
attention to them, but seems like there's always one in like every sequence of shots.
Well, and there's this really extended gag here where who is the woman that is sort of the attached to
Vanity.
the bad guy? No, the bad guy.
That woman.
Yeah, she's very clearly a
Cyndi Lauper.
yeah, Cyndi Lauper. Like it's an extended Cyndi Lauper thing. Even the video that she makes for the Dirty Magazine song is a clear ripoff of She Bop.
So I have no experience with Cyndi Lauper, so I didn't
Okay.
get that reference particularly. Can I just say that is one of the worst / catchiest headwormy kind of terrible songs
Yeah.
I have ever heard in my life.
Same as She Bop. Like, it's one of those
Oh.
things where it's like, oh, this is inappropriate, but it's totally stuck in my head. Jeez. And like it's fun to see her be the same as Cyndi Lauper, where it's like, you think I'm an idiot because I have this voice. That is definitely not me. Like, I'm way smarter than any other person in this room. I'm just a
kinda
woman.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much goes on in this movie. You mentioned him, so do we
Uh-huh.
want to talk about Shonuff?
I do just want to make one more call out here for the tagline of Leroy's dad's pizza shop. And I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's so good.
When you need to move your feetsies, take them to Daddy Brown, Daddy.
Let me look
Daddy
at
Green's Pizzas,
Let me look
something
at
like that.
the quotes here for the IMDb page, because someone has to write it down here.
Like, I love that entire family. It's worth mentioning. Like, the dad who runs the pizza shop, the
Just
the
directa your pizza to Daddy Green's Pizza.
There we go.
It's so good.
It's so good, but it's so terrible.
Yeah.
And it's so endearing at the same time.
Yep. Oh, man. Yeah, and then we get, we should probably talk about Shonuff, because it's...
Julius Carey, who plays Shonuff, by the way, who, I didn't realize this until the final fight sequence, is 6'5".
Sheesh. All right. Dang.
He's a big boy.
He's a big dude. He's so good, and I think so much about what I loved about his performance was when I noticed in one scene, I don't think it was the first scene he's in the movie theater, but I think it's the next scene, where he's wearing the, like, Shogun outfit, but it's made out of football padding. I was just like, okay, hold on. You guys nailed 100% the costuming on this character. That is such a perfect combination of
like
the two things.
DIY nature.
Yeah, but like that's what makes Shonuff perfect, is he's the Shogun of Harlem in his outfit and like everything he's trying to do, but that combination there is just perfect. I think as soon as I noticed that, I was like, The Last Dragon is like one of the best movies of all time. This is incredible. I love it so much. Come on.
His glasses with the Japan flag on it as well.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And like, I love his...
And to think, we got crap for being weebs in like the late 90s, early 2000s. The weebs were around way beforehand.
That's right. And, like, I love that he has this, like, scrappy crew of, like, yeah, boss, yeah! Like henchmen.
He feels like and his performance, I think, it feels like a stage performance, because he's always talking to the back of the room.
Exactly.
He's never talking to the camera. He's always, like, big, vocal.
He's filling the whole room.
Yeah, it's also part of the character, but I love the fact that it feels very stagey in the way he performs it.
Yeah. Like when he's in the pizza shop and he's threatening the family, he's too big for that room. Like his character fills that whole room in a way that it feels really menacing.
Oh, 100%. And like that, just the elevation of that to like that kind of performance. It's like, okay, you know what you're in, and you're leaning all the way into it. Yeah. Like 100% of the way in.
He really gets it.
Oh, he is a very good performer.
Yeah.
Like, I think Timac, who plays Leroy, the main character, I think his performance is good in the fact that he is basically just a very naive person who's going around trying to find the secret master. His actual master is fantastic too, in the fact that he's always poking fun at him.
He's always sort of like, hey man, whatever, I don't care. I live up here by myself. Life's great.
The thing you need is in this fortune cookie.
Yep.
It's nothing.
I like that Timac plays the serene version of Leroy really well. Like when you see Shonuff trying to goad him in the theater, and Leroy's just kind of like, yeah man, whatever, I'm not gonna fight you. And then like Shonuff tries to go harass him, and Leroy just leaves. Like he's just like, man, I'm gonna see you later, bye. Movie's
I ain't got time
over.
For this.
Yeah,
I'm going elsewhere.
I think he plays that aspect of the character really well. I think he plays the family, like he fits well in that family really well. That feels like a really natural dynamic between all of them.
Yeah, because they all think he's weird, and I love the fact that we're looking at him thinking this guy's a bit weird, right? Like, like am I stupid, or is he a bit weird?
Yeah,
and everyone's like, Yeah, he's a bit weird.
Yeah, he's just a bit of a weirdo. Like a harmless, kind of friendly weirdo.
Sitting there eating popcorn with chopsticks.
Right. And, like, I do like the naive version of him as well. I think the only part that falls down for me a little bit is the very end of the movie, where it's like the righteous anger version of him. That's the only part of me that I think that falls down a little bit.
Yeah, understandably. I will say the thing that bothered me the most about this is it's very clearly a Motown production. I did some research. It was like literally done by the Motown Records company, like put this movie together, because, and it goes with kind of the way the movie is filmed and shot. It feels like a music video. It feels like a 90-minute music video.
Yeah, there's something about how it's shot that feels like that.
It feels that way.
Yeah, I can't put my finger on it. Someone who's maybe more well versed in movie making theory or practices could, but like there's definitely some, and I think that lends some interesting stuff to it, because I think any of the musical performances, any of the like 65 musical performances in this movie, and any of the shots that are in the club, I think feel really good. They feel pretty authentic. I think because of how it's shot, but I think some of the action stuff can kind of take a back seat because of that.
Yeah. I think Vanity is fine.
Yeah,
her performance is okay.
I wish she was a little bit in the movie, a little bit more, because I kind of liked.
She doesn't really have a character. It feels like she's she's basically a VJ before VJ exists.
Right. Thank you for reminding me of the term VJ.
For those young people around here, VJ is a video jockey, which was basically the person on MTV to host the videos that you'd be watching.
And now to Duran Duran, it was basically that. I did like her performance. I thought she was really good in it, but I agree with you. I wish there was a little bit more there. I liked her kind of not like playing around with Leroy, but just sort of like teasing, flirting with him a little bit, of just like, I don't think this guy even knows that I like him. Like, is he...
Oh, he 100% doesn't.
Like, what is his deal? Like, I'm super flirting with this dude, and he's like, yep, anyway, see you later.
Like, he runs a martial arts school where everyone could just do whatever they want, apparently.
Right, right. Yeah, maybe he doesn't seem like the best martial arts instructor, but...
And arguably, my favorite person from his school is Johnny. The Asian kid who doesn't know how to fight.
It's so good.
But just jumps us around, does a little move, and makes a scream because he freaks people out, apparently, when quote-unquote Asians make that noise.
Maybe that's where Johnny from Metal Gear Solid got his name from.
Oh, maybe.
They're both as equally useful.
Yeah. Johnny, who quote-unquote can't fight, but sure can use nunchucks at the end of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if you didn't know how to fight, dude, you'd be hitting yourself in the face with those things.
That's what I'd be doing. That's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fun fact, the movie was cut down by 2 minutes when released in the UK because nunchucks are illegal to show in the UK still.
That's right. The
Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
That's right. What a weird... We had Satanic Panic. You guys had... Ninjas are the worst. It's just like...
Yeah.
What?
Nunchuck nut jobs? I don't know.
Are the ninjas in the room with us right now? Parliament? Oh my god. But like that whole villain plot with the like club owner, I thought was interesting.
Club owner? You mean Eddie Arcadian, the guy from video games with the most pointed name ever?
That guy's name is so good. Man. That actor I thought did a good job.
He did. He is just, again, it feels like it's someone who knows what he's in and he's just turned everything up to 11.
He's just chewing everything.
Got a goon who was a boxer who he tried to make the world champion, but he could never win fights. He's got the girlfriend who he's trying to make a pop star. He's trying to elevate the people around him so he can be elevated by association. Like, that's literally all he wants to do is increase his own self-worth by, weirdly enough, increasing others' self-worth. It's a strange thing to do. A
rising tide raise all ships, but, you know.
The backup singers get paid in quarters. I mean, it's...
That's right.
It's weird, dude.
Yeah, his whole stuff was, I feel like, in any other movie, I feel like he would be kind of the standout here. But Shonuff is just too
He just
good.
takes.
He
It's too
steals,
big.
yeah, he steals the whole movie. In a way that you want a villain too, because that's the person you're going to face off at the end eventually. But like the idea that there's kind of two villains here is just like, man, all right.
Showing off is Vaz from Far Cry 3, except,
Exactly.
he doesn't get taken out halfway through the game.
That's right.
He's actually there till the end.
That's right. He does survive until the final fight there. Yeah. But yeah, I thought his performance was really good. I thought his stuff was really great. I liked his performance of like taunting Leroy with the sound system in the club near the end.
Yes, at the end.
I thought that was done pretty well. There's almost like an element of the like Ghost in the Machine sort of thing that they were flirting with here when does this come out? 85? That I thought was like a little bit interesting. But
I love the fact that his goons all get beat up, and then he hires new goons, and they're all murderers, and they're handing over their CV,
right,
and it's a crime scene photo, and then like a newspaper, and the guy's like, yeah, I like the framing of that better. The cropping is a better photo for that one.
That's such a good joke. Like turning in a crime scene photo as your like CV for getting hired as a goon. Come on, man, that's so good. This movie, man. I
it's so many little funny, stupid jokes.
Yep.
Like again, every sequence feels like it's got a gag in there somewhere.
Yep.
And we don't do comedies a lot here because they're hard to nail.
Yeah.
Check out next season for the potential biggest flop / not flop you might ever see.
That's right. Yeah, I think that's the thing that I was most surprised about with this movie is like how genuinely kind of clever and witty it is in the writing, as opposed to from the outside looking in, it seemed like it was going to be kind of a standard action kind of kung fu movie, and having that level of like,
it feels like it's not even a kung fu movie. You got like 2 or 3 sequences. That's it.
Right.
It's like a music video with a kung fu stinger and kung fu bookends.
Yeah.
One at the start, one at the end.
And just like the idea that he tries to promote this boxer and keeps putting bets on him, and the boxer literally cannot win a match is so good. And he's like, "Hey, go get Leroy." It's like, what is he gonna do? He can't do anything.
Who he then tries to stop shooting him because it's like, no, that's not fair.
Right. God, it's so good. The one thing that I really did like at the end, that I really didn't anticipate happening was Shonuff getting the glow first.
Oh, yeah, you can tell he already had it. Like, he's had it for a while.
Yeah.
But he's only got it on his hands, which I think is a very purposeful, saying.
And it's red.
He's almost there,
right,
but he's not there.
Yeah, and it's red, so it's like the kind of evil version of the glow. And I like that he just beats the brakes off of Leroy. Like,
100%. And it even does like the rotoscoped Ghostbusters effects where
so cool.
When they do the connections, they get like the red sparks and like things flying off it.
Looks so cool, man. I'm such a sucker for that. And then like when Leroy gets it and he gets like the full body kind of gold glow, him doing the like Bruce Lee hands infinity symbol thing and having that do the like glow and trail, I was like, this is incredibly sick. You guys save the special effects until the end, and man, this stuff looks incredibly cool.
Yeah, they had so much budget for the music.
Yes.
And very little budget for the special effects. And
soundtrack is pretty good too, man.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I might have to go back and look at this. I might have to go back and listen to the Bamfcast episode. because I don't know if this was before or after the Stargrove episode.
Mm.
And so for those of you who haven't listened to the Bamfcast, go listen to the Bamfcast,
Yep.
please. Like, so much content, and it's a laugh riot a minute. Like, generally,
Mm-hmm.
there's an episode that they had where basically the theme tune for there's like it's about a gymnast, like a horse gymnast, becoming a secret agent.
Oh, of course, sure. Bamfcast.
Uh-huh. Okay, Never Too Young to Die might be it.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a song in that which they refer, it's the Stargrove song.
Okay.
And it basically, the song describes what is happening in the movie.
Oh, okay. It's one of those where it's like the like Cliff's Notes to music.
Yes,
Gotcha.
exactly. And I don't know if they gave this a Stargrove, but as soon as the movie started, and especially at the end as well, when it's got like the similar kind of music,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is a Stargrove. Like, this is a
Right.
song in the movie that is 100% describing what is happening in the movie. Like, I have to listen to their episode now to see if they gave it a Stargrove or if it was
Right.
before or after Stargrove. I think it was after, but I don't know if they like retired it at some point.
Sure.
Where I was like, yeah, this music is just describing everything that's going to happen.
Yeah,
in this
you
movie.
just you gave me the whole plot. Okay.
I was
Also,
super surprised.
also, can we talk about really quickly the fortune cookie factory
Machine?
that they don't want him to go into because the master is hard at work there and is literally just one machine.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
It's so great.
But at the same time, we also need to talk about the pizza joint fight.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like you said, Shonuff shows up to that. He is dominating the entire scene with just how big he is. Love the fact that he comes in and he's like, yeah, I'm looking for Leroy Green. And the dad's like, yeah, I'm Leroy.
Yep.
Like, not you.
Yeah, not you, man. Shut up.
The other one. Oh, he's like, you mean Junior? He's my kid.
Yeah.
And then he just trashes the place. Like, he chops that table clean in half.
Yep.
But then the mom starts throwing pizza dough at everybody. Like, as she's literally hitting these people in the face with pizza dough, and it cracked me up so much.
So good.
It's such a good moment.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about this movie. And with us, this is probably not going to be one of our longest episodes here. You can check last episode for that one. I think we went going in with very few expectations and certainly even less knowledge of this movie. But man, I came out of watching this movie just being like, you know what? That was a hell of a lot of fun. Like, this was just a fun movie that had a lot of heart. Like, it's a very endearing movie made by... You can tell when somebody makes a piece of art that they really felt passionate about, they really had a good time making. Like, it must have been a good time doing this thing. And this definitely feels like a movie like that. It just feels like a movie that has the most heart of anything I've watched in a really long time.
Yes. I mean, that's literally the I think that is the best word for it, is heart.
Yeah.
Like, it is not a great movie. The performances are not masterclasses of acting. The music is good to rough.
Yeah.
But it has so much heart, so much soul. I hate using that term in this context. Behind everything.
And it also has a very clear reverence for, like, source material is the wrong term, but like it's inspirations. It genuinely does love the works that came before it from its genre, and then kind of puts its own spin on it in a way that I think is really interesting. So,
Yeah,
go ahead.
it's this interesting stand-up of blaxploitation, but also kung fu movies, and specifically kung fu movies of like the 70s and the 80s, like the Bruce Lee style of kung fu movies.
Yeah, Stranger in a Strange Land, kind of first trip kung fu adventure movies. Yeah. Oh man.
And it just pokes fun in all the right ways too.
Yep. Let's do ratings here real quick on IMDb. 6.8 out of 10 with 18,000 ratings. Rotten Tomatoes here on the Tomato Meter. Again, it's an older movie, so Tomato Meter is like really weird. 61% with 23 reviews. I'm not sure how many of these are recent. Quite a few of them. And then 86% for audience score. And then Letterboxd has this at a 3.4 out of 5. Which sure. I mean, it's a great bad movie. So like the reviews are going to be all over the place of I don't want to say like did you get it or not, but did it click with you or not? Like do you think it's a bad movie endearingly, or did you think it's a bad movie in a sort of insultingly way?
Yes. And reading some of those, like, just for fun, I did go down and read some of the IMDb reviews for it, and some of the, like, there is an 8.5 where it's like, hey, this is schlock. It's bad schlock, but it's schlock from the 80s, and you know, I appreciate it for what it is.
Right.
And then there's other people which is like 1 star, this should never be seen again, and it's like, okay, so you didn't go into it with the spirit, and that's the key, I think, to this kind of thing. That's what one of the reasons why we appreciate the BMF cast, was because they don't go in to bury a movie. That's not what they're interested in doing.
Right.
They very much share our thing where it's, let's look for the good. Let's look for the positive.
Right.
Like, even if something is bad, let's try and find the good in it.
Right.
Minus a few Game Club episodes here and there.
And it's also important to like readjust your expectations as you're watching something. Like, it was put out in the mid 80s. It has like a specific thing it was going for, as a bunch of specific references it's making. So like, you sort of have to readjust how you're feeling as you're watching it and kind of coming out of it. And you can't say, well, this wasn't a cool, you know, $300 million Marvel movie that I saw in 2019. Yeah, of course it's not. This movie was made for, do I have a budget here? $10 million. $10 million. In 85. So like...
And it made 33.
Right. So like, it's not the big budget movie you saw, or even like the big budget mini series that you're seeing on Disney Plus. Like, it did as much as it could with what it had at the time, and I think it's a super cool movie.
Yeah. It's super enjoyable. There are times I wish I drank. This is one of those moments where it's like, it'd be good to get a little buzz on it, and you know.
Bunch of people watching this half buzzed. Yeah. But if you've gotten to this point in this episode and you thought, boy, that sounds like a lot of fun, and you haven't watched this yet, you really need to go watch it. It is as fun as it is. We probably missed 300 additional jokes and references and little winks and nods that are in the movie, and all of it is really good. I wholeheartedly recommend it as like one of the best bad movies that you can watch.
Yeah, and then go listen to the Bombcast talk about it too.
Yeah,
they have. That was a Chuckles episode too, so I know Chuckles is in there. And if you ever want to laugh to catch you off guard,
right,
and like, you know, really make you laugh just listening to somebody laugh, Chuckles is one of them.
Yeah, so go check that out at bmfcast.com. That's episode 420. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Again, go watch the movie if you haven't, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.